Today's word of the day is pontificate. To pontificate is to speak or express an opinion about something in a pompous or dogmatic way. And today's weather is partially cloudy with a high of 79 and a low of 59 degrees.
In news today, the White House has accused House Republicans who are pushing to impeach President Joe Biden of using the investigation to avoid responsibility for a potential government shutdown. The House Oversight Committee announced on Tuesday that the first hearing in an impeachment investigation would take place on September 28th.
In Aurora, Colorado, 2 men are on trial for the death of African-American man Elijah McClain, who was killed by police after being placed in a chokehold and given a powerful sedative. This week is when the trial will officially start. The first of 3 trials, scheduled to begin this year, involves a 23-year-old massage therapist who had an encounter with police and emergency personnel after purchasing iced tea from a corner store on the evening of August 24, 2019.
And there has been a rise in COVID, and doctors say it's getting harder to tell patients with it apart from those with allergies or the common cold. Dry coughing and impaired sense of smell and taste were once hallmarks of this disease, but these symptoms have become less common in recent years. Instead, the upper respiratory system appears to be the primary target of the milder disease, as reported by medical professionals.
I like to buy a vowel, Pat. On Tuesday, producers announced that Wheel of Fortune co-host Vanna White has signed a contract extension that will keep her spinning the letters until at least the middle of 2026. Since this is Pat Sajak's final season as Wheel host, speculation has centered on Vanna White's future on the show. She has hosted since the 1980s, and with that, we'll be back after the break.
This weekend, Furman University men's tennis will be heading to UNC for the UNC Invitational. Today, I spoke with player Alex Hahn for his mindset on the upcoming tournament.
I think everyone has been working really hard this past summer, so we're all getting ready. You know, it's early in the fall. This is only our second tournament, so we're just trying to get matches under our belt, trying to get more experience, supporting each other, being for each other every single day. You know, if I'm not playing, I'm going to be cheering. I'm going to be being loud out there, especially since we're not at home. Trying to have an environment where I can make my other teammates feel comfortable out there is the best thing I can do as a teammate. I love competing. I love the atmosphere. You know, obviously there's going to be nerves, there's going to be pressure, but I mean, that's all the fun. That's why we're here. So.
The Paladins will utilize their summer training and supportive mentality to win the UNC Invitational this year. My name is Molly Fall, and this is your pre-tournament interview.
Moving into some South Carolina news, according to Governor Henry McMaster, South Carolina is now prepared to use lethal injections. South Carolina has not carried out an execution in quite some time. Due to manufacturers' concerns over public exposure, the state's supply of a lethal injection drug ran out in 2013 and has not been replenished since. Governor McMaster has repeatedly urged the General Assembly to enact a SHIELD statute, which would shield from public scrutiny the identities of those who administer the death penalty.
A nursing assistant at a Greenwood, South Carolina prison brought in contraband by hiding it in a female hygiene product. According to the South Carolina Department of Corrections, Lativa Nakash Hill, 38 of Greenwood, is charged with providing prisoners with contraband and drug possessions.
5 women in the South Carolina Senate will be honored with an annual award from the JFK Foundation for their joint efforts to block a near-total abortion ban in the state. They will be the 2023 recipients of the Profile and Courage Award. The bridge under construction for less than a year has reopened. The bridge is located on Kist Road between Aber Creek Road and Reedville Road. The existing bridge was supported by wood poles that sat in the creek.
Also, new improvements have been made at the Prisma Health Swamp Rabbit Trail intersection where it crosses at SC 253. It's a busy road, and SCDOT said it's trying to make it safer for those using the trail. The South Carolina Department of Transportation added radars to the traffic lights to sense trail users and give them a green light without even having to touch the button.
Here on campus, there's a lot of events happening that students can get involved with. On Wednesday at 5 o'clock, the first FUSI meeting of the semester, including welcome backs, an overview of the upcoming semester, introducing new freshmen, new exec, and their partnership with the Hill.
Then on Thursday, there will be a bake sale with RMHC in front of the library from 11 to 2.
Want to learn more about Heller? Also on Thursday, stop by Upstairs Trone for fall snacks and apple cider from 4 to 6 p.m. to learn how to get involved with Heller this year.
Do you want to learn about Greek? Come out to the first Pan-Hellenic night of the semester. The wonderful sisters. Do you want to learn about Greek? Come out to the first Pan-Hellenic night of the semester. The wonderful sisters of Alpha Delta Pi and Delta Gamma are so excited to host Envision Yourself in Greek Life and create vision boards on campus.
Lastly, what better way to end your Thursday night by playing Super Smash Bros. With the APO Bros?
This week.
Thanks for tuning in tonight. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube to keep up to date with everything happening on campus and to watch all of our previous episodes. You can email us at func@furman.edu to submit news or announcements. I'm Isabella.
And I'm Kimberlyn. Here's Kobe and Jay with the talk show.
Well, it seems like it's been a really quick start back to this semester so far, and wouldn't you agree?
I would. I cannot believe it's already week 5.
It's been very, very, very busy. I mean, from assignments to other projects, and
Midterms coming up so soon.
I think for one of my classes, it's in, I think, 3 weeks from now. So it's really,
2 for me.
really coming up pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, for the HSC class that we're doing, the health sciences class, what do you think of that so far?
The workout plans are perfectly fine. Like, I love the workout plans. Going to the gym every Thursday, top tier. Tuesdays, the group activities, they're tedious. They're really tedious, but getting it finished is like an accomplishment. So I like it. How about
So
you?
we've done the 1.5 mile lap. We've done the ultimate frisbee, and today we also did the form practice for the lifting.
Yeah.
What was probably the toughest activity so far?
Definitely the 1.5 mile, and that's so embarrassing to say, but I haven't played sports since high school. So last time I played competitive sports was like 5 years ago. That was the last time I was in the gym consistently, doing cardio consistently. So that mile killed me, like absolutely killed me. How about you?
I can definitely relate to this. While I haven't done official sports teams or anything in more than a couple years, I did actually have a pretty funny experience freshman year in high school, where I was originally recruited to be on the track team. So that was a one and done for me, but I still like to do a lot of running. So that part's really fun. The 1.5 mile run was kind of hard because it was pretty hot outside.
It was very hot. I think it was like 93 when we started. So I don't know. But we get to do it again in December. So you excited?
I wouldn't say I'm exactly excited, but it really depends on the weather. But I think it might be colder at that time, so maybe it'll be a little bit better then, hopefully.
What other classes are you taking this semester?
Yeah, so one of the tough classes that I'm taking this semester is Japanese. I'm really interested in the culture and the language, but that also means that I have a lot of studying every single night to practice the vocab, practice those kanji characters. There's a lot of work that you have to put into it, so we have to study a lot every night to stay on edge.
What really got you interested in Japanese?
Well, my mom has always been interested in a lot of like Japanese culture, and eventually one of my friends at high school recommended a couple Japanese shows. They're called anime. And since then, I've kind of on and off been watching some of them. And now, when I'm taking Japanese, it's been a really helpful tool to watch and listen to these shows. And it helps teach me extra vocab and things. So it's really, really neat.
Do you have any show recommendations for everybody?
Well, we've been watching a couple different things, with my friends recently. Bocchi the Rock is actually about like a guitarist learning how to play for a band that she joined. So we actually watched that for the anime club here on campus this last weekend. That was a really good show, but there's tons and tons of different shows, different genres. So it's really hard to just pick one.
And y'all have meetings every weekend, right?
Yes, every weekend, Sunday from 2 to 3.
And anybody can come?
Absolutely.
Oh,
We're happy to have
I might
anybody
come check it out one weekend. It's so cool.
Maybe I could teach you some extra vocab like I've been practicing.
I struggle with Spanish, so we'll see if I can do Japanese.
Maybe we could switch off. I can learn some Spanish, you can learn some Japanese.
That's the deal.
All right, cool. So, with all these classes and everything, what would you say has probably been the hardest so far?
For me, I would say my Econ 331, so empirical methods, I'm having to do a research project from start to finish. And I've never done that before. So that's been just learning how to code in Stata has been a struggle, but I'm working on it. I'm getting there. And then coming up with a really good research question that's feasible in the amount of time, because we only have this semester, so we don't get to go into next semester. Doing an entire research project in like 3 months. I don't know how that's really going to turn out, but I'm working on it. I'm doing my best. So
Well,
hopefully it turns out well.
3 months definitely sounds like a lot of time, but I'm sure it goes by pretty quickly, right?
I think a month's already gone, so 2. We're going to figure it out.
So what research question have you been developing so far? Do you have any ideas?
I do. I think I'm going to study the effects of multi-generational households and how the children coming out of that are either better or worse off going into jobs, school, and just like income levels in general, and to see like who has better opportunities, like kids from multi-generational households that have had parents and grandparents and great-grandparents to guide them, or just a mother and father.
So what have you found so far with your research for this topic?
Not a lot, honestly. A lot of the incomes are like really, really close. So it's hard to see if it actually has an effect, but like within the household, you will realize that the incomes in the household is a lot higher when it's all pulled together, because you get to pull together resources like time, energy, what else? Tutoring for your kids. So like grandparents could pick them up, help them with homework. You don't have to pay for a tutor. You don't have to pay for after school care, and things like that can really help out parents of young children. They'll save about $70,000 a year, I think, in after school programs on average.
That's definitely a lot of savings.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your next step in this research project you've been working on?
Finding more resources to either back or deny my research question. So I have to do an annotated bibliography, and I think that's due in a couple weeks. And I just have to go through every single resource that I can find and just dissect it the best I can and see how much I think it will help me, how much I think it applies to what I'm researching, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Definitely, that's going to be pretty tough, I would imagine. I personally have never really had much experience researching those kind of topics, but I'm sure the research methods are at least similar to something like a history major like myself would do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Using the library. Do they have documents and articles on subjects like this?
They do. They have a lot, especially more online than in person, but there's a lot of resources out here. Yeah.
Okay. So, what would you say your experience has been so far with the DH food this year? This is, we're going to get in the hot seat for a minute about this. This has been a pretty hot topic with a lot of students on Furman's campus so far. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Furman's food so far?
I love the dining hall staff. They're absolutely amazing. The food, I'm gonna have to give it about a -3. Like the rating, no, I can't. I've been to the dining hall maybe once or twice, so like I'm blowing through my food points, but I can't. It's not for me. How about you?
Well, I would have to say it's kind of hit or miss. For me, on the weekends, I'm not very much of a breakfast person. I'll do a brunch every now and then, but it seems like every single day for lunch at the dining hall, they always have the same, bacon and eggs and sausage and toast.
That's it.
Of course, you can make like a waffle
Yeah.
with the machine. Those are good every now and then, but
Every weekend? No.
I don't know about having the same meal every single lunch for every single weekend so far. Hopefully they could maybe mix it up a little bit. I do think that the staff, like you said, they're very nice, they're very kind, and I think that they're making the effort. But yeah, I would say the food could definitely get a bit of an improvement.
Yeah.
What would you say would be a dish that you would like to see come to Furman?
I would love if we had like a smoothie bar or like acai bowls or something like just refreshing, especially during those breaks where the DH is closed, because I don't always want like Chick-fil-A or Moe's or like just something like really heavy. Sometimes just something light you can grab. And then the lid.
So this has been tonight's talk show. I'm Colby,
I'm Jay.
and have a nice rest of your evening. Thank you for tuning in.